Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. How is everyone today? Welcome, everyone. Today is Thursday, January 14th, 2021. I am Darkside Phil. I am here, and I am ready for action. Hope you guys are ready for a delicious and meaty pre-stream. We've actually got a good amount of stuff to talk about today, finally, after weeks of there being absolutely nothing to talk about. I've got stuff to talk about. That's right. Good stuff. Good gaming news. Well, gaming news in general. I don't know if it's good gaming news, but gaming news in general to finally cover. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited as well for some gaming news. What the fuck is that PogChamp emote? I can't even tell what that is. Wow. What a failed experiment this has been. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk a little bit, shall we? First of all, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're ready for a full day of gaming fun. Today is another Ubisoft day. Alright, today's another Ubisoft day, where we're going to be doing all Ubisoft content. Alright, first, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Continuing on this early stream. Been making good progress in the game recently with the fact that last week I've played it as major streams, okay? Continuing on with that, because like I said, we need to get through this game so I can do my year-end series, and man, we're halfway through January and we're not even close, so we just got to keep plugging away at this game until we finish it, alright? Excuse me. If you remember, we had just entered into a new area, I believe. Was it Lincolnshire or something like that? And we're just starting up with the quest line here. I don't even know what it's going to be. So I guess we'll find out together today as we play more Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Alright? Later tonight, the late night chill stream is Immortals Fenyx Rising. This game is the perfect late night chill stream. Open world exploration, parkour, combat, puzzles. Some pretty funny writing, and also Greek mythology, which is pretty neat to learn about certain Greek mythology stuff while we're playing the game. So I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I've been enjoying the late night streams of it, and I'm looking forward to more later tonight. I hope you guys will join me for that, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Tomorrow, we swing back to Yakuza 7, which we have finally entered the end game. The playthrough itself is around 70 hours long. Yes, that's how long this game is, and we're not done yet, all right? We've entered into the final chapter of the game, all right? What do we have to do? A lot. There's an optional dungeon that opened up. We can go back and do things like the Dragon Cart side questing. We have to finish up the business minigame plotline, Ichiban Holdings. Before we even head into the end of the story, there's that much left to do. So even though we're technically at the end of the game, it could potentially still take multiple streams to finish it. All right? So tomorrow should be fun. And then tomorrow night, it's my weekly throwback Street Fighter session on Friday night. I always have a good time with that, despite the fact that sometimes the connections cannot be very good, and sometimes it's hard to get matches. Sometimes it's also smooth. We'll have to see, all right? But that's tomorrow night. Then on Saturday, it'll be more Assassin's Creed Valhalla paired with Black Ops Cold War. Now, I was actually just told by Timbo Slice GB that apparently there's a new map that they added today to Black Ops Cold War. I played it last night. There was no new map, so I guess they just added it. So I guess we're going to see on Saturday night, okay? Sunday will be more Yakuza 7 and Immortals Fenyx Rising, and then Monday likely will be more Assassin's Creed and Black Ops Cold War, all right? So that's the week. That's what we've got planned. Now, don't worry for those of you who are fiending for new content, because you're like, man, these are all games Phil's been playing for a long-ass time. All right? First of all, Assassin's Creed. Yakuza 7 is going to end sooner rather than later. Okay? It is going to end sooner rather than later. So, I wouldn't worry too much about that. You know, if people are worried, oh no, well, this, you know, how are we ever going to get to new content? It is going to end probably within the next, I would say, if not this week, definitely next week, it's going to finish up. All right. So with that being said, there will be new content soon. Okay, there will. You just got to be a little patient. That's all. That's all, guys. Then next week there's also a new game. There is Hitman 3. Okay, which should be hopefully a good playthrough. The last two Hitman games were quite good. Looking forward to that. That's coming out of all days Wednesday next week. Why Wednesday next week? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know why it's coming out on such an odd day. It's a good question. I don't think there's any real explanation for it besides with COVID, like all bets are off. Anything just comes out whenever it wants. Okay? So, I guess we'll see next week when this game comes out. Is it any good? Hopefully it is. You would think it would be. Considering... You would think it would be, considering the fact that the last few games have been so good. Alright, but we'll find out. We shall find out. Outside of that, later this month we have many different things going on. Alright, we have the marathon event of the retrospective, where you guys are currently nominating moments of your favorite times during my 12 years of content creation that will be featured in this retrospective. We'll go back and watch them together. So I hope you'll keep doing that by typing !retrospective in the stream chat. Or every 20 minutes or so, a link will just auto-populate and post up here in the stream. I hope you will do that. Alright? In addition to that, there will be a new Viewer's Choice event going on soon. Alright? No, more details on that once we actually get through the retrospective event. The thing is, we need to get to the retrospective event before we talk about that. Alright? Excuse me. I'm just trying to think. Oh, one thing I will say. Okay? Hold on. I'm getting distracted. My stupid phone is bothering me. Hold on. I'll put this thing down so it stops distracting me and I can pay attention to the pre-stream here. Getting frustrated. I don't want to get frustrated. Okay? Okay, ready? DSP tries it. I need ideas for DSP tries it. Alright? I do. The more ideas I get, the better the show will be. We know that. I need new ideas for DSP tries it. So, that being said, alright? Please think about what you want to see on a new DSP tries it that's going to happen during the marathon event, the retrospective marathon, alright? I need your opinions. And so far, the two ideas that we've come up with is either I go to this World Market store where basically I will get some kind of a item, an international food item of some sort. I don't know what. Oh my god, excuse me. It's disgusting. Ugh, revolting. Yeah, I'll get some kind of an international food item of some sort to try out on the stream, much like I did with those mince pies during the Christmas marathon. Or I order some kind of a pizza and I dip it in ranch sauce, because I've been told that this ranch sauce on pizza is quite good. I don't know about this at all, being honest with you. I don't know if I should believe this or not. I honestly don't think it is. I think it's going to be disgusting, quite frankly. But some people are saying they're swearing to it that ranch sauce on pizza is good. So I've never had that combination before, and I've been debating, should I try it? Should I actually give it a shot and trust what people are saying, or is this all a bunch of baloney? People are trying to fool me. I'm going to try it. I'm going to vomit profusely on stream. I don't know. I don't know. So, we'll find out. But here's the thing. Those are the only ideas I have right now for DSP Tries It. If you guys have better ideas for a DSP Tries It episode that I can do, during this marathon coming up, I'm all ears. I want to know your ideas. So let me know. Alright? Chocolate chicken, Ricky Spanish said. What the fuck is chocolate chicken? What is that? Chocolate chicken. That sounds absolutely disgusting. I don't know. Anyway, let me know. Okay, so that's what's going on with the streams. You know the schedule. You know there's marathon events going on. You know what's happening. You're in the know now. All right? I have 3 news stories I want to talk about today. But I feel I should do the gratuitous plug segment first before I do these news stories. Okay? So let's do it. Let's do gratuitous plugs, shall we? Ow! Ow! Just cracked my neck. That hurt. Son of a bitch. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know. You guys know well. You know well that I'm an independent content creator. You know that I do not have any sponsorships. You know that I do not. I don't know why I'm talking so dramatically today. You know, I don't have any sponsorships. You know that I do not have any agreement with any streaming website to stream exclusively and make big money. All right? You know that I don't advertise any products on my stream. You know all this because you guys are regulars here and you know the deal, right? So that being said, thank you for your support for the last 12 years. Because if it weren't for you guys, all right, supporting me via other methods, such as crowdfunding, I would not be here, all right? It is your crowdfunding efforts that allow me to continue to do what I love. And I'm very grateful for that, all right? So thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to be an independent and truthful content creator, an honest content creator, all right? When you watch my stuff, you know you're getting the truth about my feelings and thoughts about a game that I'm playing. You know that I'm not pulling any punches. You know that I'm not under any non-disclosure agreement. You know that I can be honest with you about what I'm doing. Right? That's the deal. That's the agreement we have here. That's why I feel that over 12 years that I've been doing content on the internet, that I've been able to entertain you and still have an audience. Many people have been around and they disappear, right? They disappear over time because people say they're not pertinent anymore. Now, admittedly, I don't have the audience that I had many, many years ago. That's definitely gone away. But I enjoy my life as a full-time streamer, and that's primarily because of your support, all right? Because you guys crowdfund my streams and the efforts for me to continue to do what I love. So thank you in advance for that. To anyone who supports my streams, to anyone who just hangs out with me, please know that my streams are free, that contributions on my streams are not mandatory, nor are they expected, but they are greatly appreciated because you're the reason why I'm still here, you know? Just being very honest here. If it weren't for your crowdfunding efforts, I wouldn't be able to make a living doing this, all right? No one else is paying for me to do this stuff because people, sadly, I hate to say it, in 2021, these companies would much rather pay someone to be a shill and kiss butt and promote their content and promote their games and their products rather than be honest. No one wants honesty anymore. You know, these top streamers, freaking paid advertisements, man. And that's not good. Just being honest, it's not good to have a complete paid advertisement on something that's supposed to be someone who's a real gamer putting out content for you. And that's unfortunate that's the state of things, you know. But that's life, I guess, right? That's where things have gone. Right? In the last 12 years, it's gone towards everyone's getting, you know, paid to advertise and shit. And that ain't cool, but that's just reality. All right? So that being said, thank you guys for your support. And again, allowing me to do what I love. Okay? So, with that in mind, how can you contribute? Well, you can cheer with bits. You can subscribe to the channel. You can tip me. You can gift a sub to someone during the stream. All these are completely valid methods of contributing, and I appreciate any support that I get from these methods. All right? Thank you. Thank you in advance. Now, the preferred method of contribution would be tipping. Tipping means that those are funds that I get immediately. I can put it towards the cost of a game. I can put it towards a bill. I can put it towards stuff behind the scenes. I could put it towards grocery shopping, getting supplies for my pet, food, all those things, all right? And it's much appreciated when you guys do contribute to help me out. Again, thank you. So much for that. Now, a few things about contributing. First off, if you are considering contributing, if you're a stream regular, right? What if you're a stream regular and you're looking to be a part of the streams a positive way? Well, thank you for that, first of all. I appreciate that. However, I want you guys to be protected. And what I mean by that is I don't want you having any kind of negativity thrown your way because you're a stream regular and people recognize you. Sadly, I hate to say it, there are people out there on the internet that are pretty messed up. And they like to mess around with people. They like to basically hone in on people who are being positive influences on a stream and basically be negative dicks. And that's not cool. All right? And one thing that I always recommend is that if you are going to be a stream regular here, that you turn off your private messages, all right? Because your private messages on Twitch can easily be used to harass you. Direct messages, DMs. I've turned mine off a long time ago. All right? I made it so that only my viewers, only my friends on my friends list can direct message me on Twitch. I feel that there really are no reasons for direct messages on Twitch at all anyway. They're pretty pointless. It's mostly used for online harassment. Just being honest. They really are just used for online harassment. And people get away with it because they're anonymous. And it's a shitty situation, but that's just kind of life, you know. So, that being the case, please do your best to make sure you're not open to that kind of harassment by leaving things open like that, okay? Now, that being said, also, one thing you're going to want to do, due diligence here. Make it so that your online persona, all right, is not the same name as your other stuff, like your social media, and that also is not the same as your in real life information. You're going to want to diversify your online presence, all right? Meaning, do not have the name on Twitch that's the same as the name on your Facebook, that's the same as the name on your Twitter, that's the same as your real life name. Bad idea. These people will seek out your information to try to harass you online. And that's the last thing that you want, okay? You want to make sure that your identity is protected. Now, if you are considering tipping me today, which if you are, I appreciate that. Thank you in advance, okay? I'm going to strongly recommend that you go the extra mile and you create what is considered a, what do they call it? A verified PayPal account. You might say, well, what is a verified PayPal account? What's the difference between a verified account and just a standard PayPal account, right? Well, it's a valid question, all right? A verified PayPal account links things like your real life name, address, and bank account information. And you might say, well, why would I want to link that? Well, it's very simple. Because that will give you protections, all right, that normally you would not get with a regular PayPal account, okay? Protections against fraud, protections against all kinds of stuff. And sadly, there's a lot of fraud that happens online with PayPal. I can tell you in the last 4 months, I've had hundreds of fake tips thrown my way with stolen credit cards, which then, on the back end, were charged back. And because they were charged back, not only did that money just go away, but also my PayPal was very negatively affected. Hidden, fees and stuff. Not good. Okay? Just not good stuff. And when you have a verified PayPal account, you are protected from those kind of malicious activities. They're not allowed to just, go down anymore. There's all kinds of protections that you put into place. Okay? So that being said, making that verified account helps you and me. Now, don't worry. If you make a verified PayPal account because you want to tip me, that information is not made public. This is not information that's going to be thrown out there publicly for everyone to see. No. They have to protect your information. Reason being, if they were to expose your info, you could sue them for lots of money. They can't just give your stuff away. Okay? So don't listen to baloney, who certain people who want to come around and say, oh, man, that's exposing you to doxing and stuff. No, it's bullshit. Okay, it's complete bullshit. All I can see when you tip me is actually the name that you've chosen as your screen name, and I can actually see like your email address and stuff like that. and, you know, very, very basic info. Nothing advanced like what these people would make you out to sound like, because they're trying to, you know, make it so, oh, be afraid of tipping. They're out of their minds, okay? And the verified PayPal account basically means that I don't have to waste time on the stream, all right, verifying if a tip is real, which is the problem right now. Is when I get these unverified tips, it could be someone trying to commit fraud with me, and I can't do that. My business has been so negatively affected in the last 4 months. You know, there were days in the last few months where it looked like I had a great streaming day, made a lot of profit, and in reality, I made nothing. In reality, it was all fake, and it all got taken back on me. Pretty screwed up when you think about it. But there's nothing you can do about it. That's kind of the double-edged sword of being an online streamer, right? But I'm doing my best. I'm putting protections in place, and that's why I'm saying I'm asking you guys to make verified accounts to try to stop this kind of malicious activity. All right, I don't want to every 5 minutes during a stream say, "Oh, we got to pause all the gameplay and everything because I got to go verify a tip and see if it's real." You know, I don't want to do that. So that's why we're trying to do this. If you make a verified account, it would curtail that. It would make it much easier, okay? And thank you to those in the last 2 weeks who have made verified accounts, because a lot of people have who are regulars here, and I really do appreciate that. Thank you in advance for going that extra mile. Okay, guys? Thank you. Okay. So, ladies and gents, thank you for that. Outside of that, I'm just trying to think, is there anything else I need to talk about before we head on to the gaming news? I don't think so. All right. So we got a few gaming news stories to talk about. The first news story I want to talk about is Gamestop, okay? There was some news yesterday about Gamestop that I found absolutely hilarious that I wanted to talk about, because I really enjoy hearing news about the American stock market and investments, because it's bullshit. Here's from someone who got an education about the financial markets, investments, stocks, you know, the futures market, all that shit. I went to college and learned all about it. And I was shocked when I went to university and was educated on how the stock market works. Okay? The stock market is based almost entirely on speculation, which basically means guessing. All right? Guessing on what's going to be good and what's not. And entire valuations of companies, entire, like it's crazy. Entire markets can be determined by people just fucking guessing on one day. Oh, I think this is going to happen. It might not. But entire things are determined by this crap. So the reason I bring this up is, yesterday there was a big coverage. GameStop is doing much better now. GameStop, which was in dire financial straits, had an 80% increase in market share in like one day. Okay, what does that mean? First of all, it doesn't mean anything. GameStop's stock, all right, was terrible. If you guys remember, the past couple of years, GameStop has been doing terribly. They really can't bring people into their stores anymore to buy games because everything's gone online and digital, and other stores have found ways to compete with them where there's no reason to go into a GameStop anymore. There was a time when you would go into a GameStop store and there would be wall-to-wall games and game accessories. And the reason you would go there is because, number one, they would have everything at a glance. Like, if you just wanted to buy anything, GameStop had every gaming thing you wanted, okay? Like a one-stop shop deal. In addition, GameStop was the place to trade in your games. You would trade in like 3-4 games at a time and get this big boost in trade-in value. So in some cases, 10 years ago when I used to be doing full-time YouTube videos and I was doing a ridiculous amount of playthroughs and the like, what I would do is I would play games and beat them within like a week, go back to GameStop, trade in 3-4 games at a time, and I would end up getting like 50% trade-in value for the game. So imagine that. Within 1 week, I'm still getting $30+ back for the game. All right? Today, you get next to nothing. There's no trade-in bonuses, none of that. It's basically just you get a flat rate value, and it's pennies. It's terrible. It's garbage. So GameStop can't bring people into their stores for trade-ins anymore. No one's going to the store to buy games anymore because everything's digital, or you could get a better deal somewhere else. So GameStop has, in the last 2 years, completely transformed their stores into junk stores. All they sell is collectibles. Funko Pop figures, t-shirts, action figures, little statues, mugs. I'm not kidding. If you go into a GameStop, that's about 60-70% of what they have in the store is a bunch of junk. Okay? That's just what they sell now. Now, they've been tanking. They've been doing absolutely terribly. Last year during the pandemic, they were doing so badly that when every other store was forced to close in the United States because of the pandemic, they tried to stay open. It took law enforcement to close the company. Actual police had to show up to close the stores because GameStop would not close. They felt they were an essential business when they're not. And most people don't buy their games at GameStop anymore. Okay? They're doing awful. Well, the news story yesterday, GameStop's stock is doing good now. It went up 80% value. Why? Because GameStop announced they've hired 3 new people to be on their leadership team who previously have been very successful in other businesses, and they feel that these people are going to lead the company into success in the future. And therefore, because of that, investors felt that this was a positive a prospect, and they revalued the company as being like really more valuable now, and the stock price went way up. All right, I want you to think about how fucking stupid this is. First of all, none of the people, all right, none of the people who they hired to the new board of directors are from gaming background. Zero. None of them understand gaming. None of them understand it at all. They hired 3 people that are completely from outside the industry. Why they think that that's going to affect them positively, I have no idea. Like, zero. But this is what these idiots, these investors, they're morons. They think that this is something good for the company, all right? The other thing is, they actually announced that their holiday sales weren't so good because digital sales are dominating right now, and because there was no stock on the new consoles. So because of that, they couldn't really sell that much during the holidays. So let me get this straight. You hired a new board of people for the board of directors who know nothing about video games, and your holiday sales weren't so hot, and you went up 80% in market value. What? I read this article, I'm like, this is why the American stock market is a joke. We have entire industries, entire people's livelihoods, entire people's lives, businesses that are valued on garbage, on nothing, fluff. So because they hired 3 new people, let's up the company's value 80%. What the fuck are you talking about? The store didn't change. They still got the same junk. No one's going to the stores and buying anything. 80% increase in value today. The fuck are you talking about? Like, it seriously is insanity how this market works. There are people in this market. The best part about the stock market is the futures market, where, excuse me, not the futures, the commodities market. I screwed that up. The commodities market is absolutely hilarious. I think that this year, for some reason, the value of eggs is going to go up. So I'm going to sell this many eggs at this price. It's like, what? They literally sit there and they look at the world and they guess. All right? And half the time they're wrong. But they actually change the value of these commodities based on guesswork. And even if they're wrong, it doesn't matter. The value's still fucked up. I couldn't believe this when I was in university. I was sitting there and learning all this, and I'm like, what? Like, this is seriously how it works. These fucking people control everything in the world by guessing. Now, yes, of course, you can argue, well, the highly skilled analysts and everything, right? Highly skilled analysts, they know better than everyone else. Although it's funny because what's his name, Warren Buffett, apparently in 2020, all his assets tanked. He's one of the worldwide, like, big investors. Everyone trusts his opinions and his knowledge because he's been around for so long. One of the biggest financial, like, gurus of the world. And he fucked up and did terrible in 2020 because of COVID. So it just goes to show you, even though they think they're so smart, all it takes is one little monkey wrench to be thrown into things, and the whole thing just crashes on its own head, and they fucking lose everything. So, not to say that Warren Buffett lost everything. He's rich, he's diversified, he's not going to go bankrupt. But the point is, this whole system is stupid. In my opinion, anyway. Okay? And I just find it hilarious. Everything we know about GameStop is laughable. Alright? In 2020, they couldn't get people in their stores because of COVID. Everything went digital. They're falling apart at the seams. Alright? There's been zero reports of a significant increase in sales. There's been zero positive information of anything in the company. Oh, they hired 3 new people from outside the industry to be on the board of directors. 80% increase in the company's value overnight. What the fuck are you... What? What on earth? Like, what logical human thinks this way? No one. And that's the point I'm making. The stock market is bullshit. Anyway, that's just one silly story. Another story that has just hit that is not very good news at all. The Super Mario Land, or whatever it's called, Super Nintendo Land, I think Super Nintendo Land, right? In Universal Studios Japan. We just last month, right, had all this information come out about it. There was a virtual walkthrough of the park showing all the cool stuff that's going to happen. A cool Super Mario Kart ride, Bowser's Castle, all this cool branded food and everything. They are ready for launch in February. And it got canceled. They literally just released, like 2-3 weeks ago, all this information to try to get people hyped for it, to get people excited. Now, obviously, there's no worldwide travel right now because of COVID. So, if anything, the only people who would have been able to go to the park would be Japanese native residents. Which is fine. There's tons of people in Japan who I'm sure would have gone to the theme park. But it kind of has to ask you, what is going on? Why would they be opening a theme park during a pandemic? COVID's not gone. We're just starting to immunize people against it with this vaccine. So why would they be opening a theme park in February? Anyway, it was all kind of suspect. It really was. It was all kind of confusing that it seemed like in Japan they weren't like acting the same way that we were acting, at least in America. We were like, why are they going to open this like now during a pandemic? It was kind of confusing. Well, after all of that work to get this thing ready, okay, during all this, advertisement that it's going to launch, virtual tours to get so excited. Miyamoto's there. Oh, look at this. It's so amazing. Oh, canceled. So now they don't even know what's going to happen. Like, they have indefinitely postponed the opening of the park, and they haven't really given any details. Likely, I'll tell you what probably happened. I almost guarantee you government officials went to them and said, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it's great that you did this, it's ready to open, but are you stupid? Like, we're trying to curtail the spread of the virus. You can't open this fucking theme park now. They probably said, like, you're going to have such legal liability if people come here and get sick. And so they canceled it. So, I don't know. To me, the whole thing was confusing. I was like, why are they talking about... Like, I understand you were building it and everyone was hyped for it, but this is kind of an unprecedented situation we're in right now with the worldwide pandemic, and it sucks that it happened. Listen, we all know that. We want the world to go back to normal. But you kind of got to wait for it to be ready. You don't want to have negative consequences that could hurt or kill people for the sake of opening a entertainment pleasure business. It's an optional thing. It's not even an essential business, right? So, I was very confused about this whole thing from the get-go. And now it's completely closed. Oh, indefinitely postponed. With no actual discussion of what's going on. I get the feeling we won't get any info either. Like, they're going to keep it hush-hush. And then all of a sudden, once this pandemic is better, then they'll announce, oh, we're finally ready to open. But I guarantee you it's probably the government stepped in and like, what, are you out of your mind? Like, we get that you're hyped to open this thing. We want it open too. It'll probably bring in tax revenue and shit. But, like, you can't just do this. What are you thinking? Anyway. So that's one piece of news. Now, let's actually get to the big news. The one that everyone's talking about this. Everyone's got an opinion on it. I've got my opinion too. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, one of the lead guys, the management guy at CD Projekt Red, put out a 5+ minute long apology video about Cyberpunk 2077. In this video, he says a lot, but doesn't say a lot. All right? In a nutshell, I'll summarize basically what this guy says. All right? He basically says, we're very sorry for the state of Cyberpunk. It should not have launched this way. Management is 100% responsible. Please do not blame our employees. It's our fault that this game came out this way. But then he goes to say, well, the reason that it really was released this way is because many of the issues, in fact, the vast majority of the issues that many of you have experienced on consoles, we didn't find. Huh. Really? The common, you're telling me, the common issues, okay? The common issues that happened in everyone's console version of the game, insane bugginess, right? Crazy things going on. They didn't find any of those in testing. None. Interesting. Then he goes on to say, basically, again, in a nutshell, the PC version's fine. The PC version's good. That's the one we were focused on. It's just the console versions that are screwed up, which is false. People who played the PC version have outright said that's not true. Yes, it is the best version, but it definitely has problems. It still should not have been released even in that state on PC. It should have definitely been, more tested and more tweaked and fixed before it was released like that. So, really, the reason that I feel that they put out this video is because they released a roadmap, okay? And the roadmap basically says everything we promised you up to now is a lie, okay? Everything's off the table because the game's so bad, we have to do so much work on it to fix it that the free DLCs we promised you are not coming out when we said. The next gen console versions for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X are not coming out when we said. Everything's delayed badly. So the roadmap basically states they're going to continue to work on fixes and patches for the next several months. And they're hoping that roughly around the middle of this year, today is January right now, around the middle of this year, they're hoping to have the existing versions of the game fully functional and fixed. Okay? To the best of their ability. Then, they're planning on releasing these free DLCs, which they had originally said were going to come out like first half of the year. They're basically saying, nah, they're not going to be coming out then. Basically, what we have to do, we have to fix the game first, then we'll put out the DLCs. And then basically the next gen versions, the PS5 and Xbox Series X versions, are like the afterthought. Once the game's fixed on current edition, then the free DLC is put out, then they're going to put out the next gen versions of these games. So basically for anyone who was holding off and said, there's no way I'm playing this on PS4 or Xbox One because I've heard they're so bad, I'm going to wait for next gen. You might not be playing the next gen version until next fall or later. All right? A full year after when the game originally released, that might be how long you have to wait for that. Okay? Now, first of all right, I have many things to say about this. I really do. I have many things to say about this. The first thing I have to say is, what took them so long? It's over a month since the game released. They just now put out this video. Like, their reputation has been completely destroyed in the last month. All right. They look awful, right? All the things that we've heard about the devs inside the company are so upset. They didn't want this to happen. We hear all kinds of crap going on. And we know how dishonest these people were when they launched the game, not giving out console versions, to be early test versions so that people would think that the game is better than it was and go buy it and then find out it's a piece of shit on consoles. Like, we know all this, and they took over a month to put out this apology video. What took them so long? Even if, let's say 2 days after the game launched, they put this video out and they said, we will have a roadmap for you of how we're going to fix this in a month. That would have been better than waiting a month to put anything out at all. Like, at this point, I'll be honest, I don't believe anything that they say. Okay? I feel this is a really bad attempt at damage control that's too little too late. People already hate them now, and there's not much they can do about that. It doesn't matter what they fix. There's going to be people who have completely lost faith in CD Projekt Red as a game development company because of the way that this was handled. And the fact that they waited a month to put this video out is like, there was literally no actual justification for waiting a month. They're just pussies. Let's be honest here. The management of this company completely fucked up in every possible way and basically wanted some of the fervor to die down before they put out a video. They didn't want to actually apologize right away. They wanted to wait until some people weren't so upset anymore to put out the video. They're pussies. Okay? Now, in addition to that, the thing that stands out for me in this video is the fact that they pretty much seem to be putting the responsibility for what happened on the QA team. Like, they're saying outright in this video, well, we didn't actually experience the problems you guys had in our testing, and that's why we didn't know it was so bad on console. It's like, so what you're essentially saying is your QA team sucked. Your QA team didn't test properly on consoles to let you know how bad your game was, and so they're basically throwing the QA guys under the bus. I mean, could this be true? I mean, yeah, it could be true. But again, if your QA team sucks, whose fault is that? The management. The management should have had a better QA team, a better testing process. You know, it all falls to the management. So you could point fingers in the company at any department and say it was them, it was them, it was them. But ultimately, it's the management that's in charge. So it's them, it's their fault anyway. I don't care if it was one particular group that fucked up. Overall, it was the people in charge who screwed this whole thing up. Okay? It just blows me away. Okay? So, this video, alright, if anything, I feel would have been way more effective if it happened right after the launch of the game. When it comes out a month later, it just doesn't seem genuine to me. It seems like, okay, we had a month of meetings to figure out how to actually handle this so that we don't look as bad, right? And we're going to basically, again, try to pass blame. Even though we say blame us in the video, then you immediately go and blame the QA team, excuse me. It seems kind of facetious. It doesn't seem genuine. It just doesn't. And the fact that then they say, oh, here's the roadmap. And, oh, look, everything we promised you up to now is all changed again. It's like, it's just another thing on top of everything. It's just another thing that fails. And it's this, you know, this reminds me of the whole Avengers deal, where the Avengers game devs, Crystal Dynamics, had promised, oh, don't worry, when the new consoles launch, there's going to be a next-gen version of our game that you're going to get at launch. It's going to run much better and look better than the standard version. So buy our game in September, and then when you get your new console in November, you can play the better version. And then the game didn't sell so well, because it wasn't a great game, and then they just completely lied. It's, okay, well, that's all off the table. It's indefinitely delayed. And now here we are in January. Have we heard anything at all about an update about when we're going to get those next-gen versions of Avengers? No. And I even said this. I said, we're not even going to hear anything about it. I would guarantee it probably ain't even coming out. They probably canceled it. I mean, think about it. When a game is a big loss for your company, are you going to sink more dev time and more money into it? Or do you write it off as, okay, it was a loss, fuck it. So chances are a lot of people got scammed into buying that game, thinking they were going to get this cool next-gen version, and they're never going to get it. All right? And that's just kind of what I've seen here. So, all right, this is great. You know, our game now has a roadmap. It's great, but the roadmap doesn't align with anything that you said before. At all, actually. Like, not even close. So, everything you said up to now is a lie. And now we're supposed to believe, right, that this is now going to be truthful, what you're telling us now. We're just supposed to believe you. So, I don't know. Like, to me, this whole thing stinks. What took them a month? Why, after a month, is this just coming out now? And why is it that this roadmap isn't in line with anything that they were actually telling us over the past month? The past month they were saying, oh, you know, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. Now, oh, here's the roadmap. It doesn't actually jive with anything we just told you. Huh? And here's the other thing. What's to stop them from lying again? Well, didn't really work out. So, you know what? You know, we'll just change it again. Change it again. I mean, I'll be honest with all of you. I do not feel, I do not feel that roadmap's going to be accurate. What's going to end up happening is exactly what happened this whole time. During the year, they're going to say, well, this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and so, you know, circumstances are changed, and now we have to change this and change this. And I don't have any confidence that, you know, it's going to be what they're saying. I just don't believe it. I mean, maybe you'll believe them over how much I just don't believe it at all. I think they're full of shit. And I feel that by the time that this game finally, you know, at least runs well on the existing versions, that no one's going to care. No one's going to be buying this game on a next-gen version. These free DLCs, like, that's just adding a whole other element. The game already doesn't work. Right? It already is buggy as shit. So now you're going to add free DLCs. All it's going to do is add more element for failure. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to add more potential for something to go wrong. That's not what they need right now. What they need is to be just fixing the fucking core game. And I understand this is the problem that they've gotten themselves into because they promised the world, you know? And when you promise the world, you know, you end up looking bad when you under-deliver. I always say, it's about under-promising and over-delivering. But apparently CD Projekt Red never heard of these concepts. There's like, just keep promising, keep promising. So now they're stuck making these free DLCs that likely are just going to break the game again. after they fix it, it'll just break the game again. So, I don't know, man. I really don't know what's going to happen here. I have no trust in them doing the right thing. No trust in this actually working, being honest. And this is so sad from a company that, again, made Witcher 3. One of the best RPGs, in my opinion, of all time. And they failed absolutely miserably at making any kind of a first-person shooter style game, even though it's not supposed to be. It was supposed to be like a role-playing game. And it really isn't. It's more just a generic first-person shooter game with a bunch of elements from like other franchises wedged in. And, you know, you guys know my thoughts. I told you guys when I played the game, my thoughts on the game. How I felt that it wasn't nearly as good as it was supposed to be. And they really just did not live up to any expectations of what the game was going to be. So, you know my feelings. Now, one final thing, since I know you guys are going to ask. Gee, Phil, did you ever get your refund for Cyberpunk? Okay? Because you remember, last weekend, I realized that the game was locked on my PlayStation. And I was like, what happened here? Why is the game locked on my PlayStation? And I realized what must have happened is they must have initiated the refund process. So I've been checking everywhere. I've been checking my PayPal, checking my bank account. No, got nothing, you know, at all from Sony, yet the game's locked, meaning I can't use it. So, finally, I say, you know what I should do? And I don't know why I didn't think about this. This is pretty stupid that it took me this long. I said, I'm going to check PlayStation.com and see what that says. Because PlayStation.com should have information on this. It should say if they've initiated a refund or not, you know. So I did that. I went to PlayStation.com and I had to go to my transaction history. Alright? And I went to my transaction history and it shows all the purchases you made and how you actually paid for them and everything. So I went to Cyberpunk from early December and it shows the transaction and it actually said I had used my bank account, not my PayPal account. So at least I knew okay, if I'm going to get a refund, it's going to be going to my PayPal account. Or excuse me, my bank account. Okay, at least I know that now. So, that's all well and good. And I said, okay, let me see what it says. It says, refund granted. Okay. Last week. Huh? They're claiming they sent me a refund last week to my bank account. There is no refund in my bank account. I checked. There's nothing there. So they're essentially saying they sent me the money back, and they didn't. So I don't know what to make of that. I don't, maybe it's in process, and it's going to take a long time. Although I can't imagine why it would take so long. But maybe that's the case. Maybe the refund process is just going to take a really long time. But, yeah, I didn't get anything yet. I would hope, since I can't play the game, you would hope that they didn't screw me over here. And, they actually will give me my money back because they're claiming they're going to. But I guess we'll find out. Right? I guess we'll find out. But I didn't get anything yet. Yeah, some people in stream chat are saying it's up to your bank to process the refund or whatever. So maybe it is. Maybe it's up to my bank to take. Maybe they'll take a little bit to process it. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what that process is. I guess we'll find out. So if I do get the refund, that's good. Now, in regards to Cyberpunk, considering the fact that this game is a mess, and considering the fact that we have absolutely no idea if we can even trust what CD Projekt Red says, I don't know if I'll ever play this game again. Just being honest with all of you, okay? Like, I would love to say, all right, when it's fixed, I'm going to go back to it, and we're going to check it out on PS5 version. We're going to play the free DLCs and everything. Do I really, at this point, want to drop $60 again to rebuy this thing? Do I really trust that this game is going to be worth playing? And do I really trust that the DLCs are going to be any good? Here's the thing. If I had played Cyberpunk 2077 and I had absolutely loved it, and I was like, man, this game is good, it's just a shame that it's such a buggy piece of shit, then probably I'd be like, yeah, all right, I'll definitely want to go back to it. But as I told you guys during my playthrough of it, I would argue that out of the 40 plus hours that I played it, because I did do a lengthy playthrough with side content and everything, probably I enjoyed myself about 30% of the time. Okay? That was about it. Like, there were some missions that were good. There were some story-based missions that were good. There's a heist that's really fun. There's a few of the missions for some of your friends / companions. The murder, the kidnapping investigation with River was quite good. There's a conspiracy investigation with some politicians that I really liked doing that mission. But then a lot of it's just crap. It just doesn't feel like anything unique or fun. The gameplay itself, the core elements of the gameplay are quite bad, in my opinion. They're basically very, very pale shades of the games that they're trying to emulate. Borderlands, Deus Ex, right? Those games do it way better than Cyberpunk. In fact, the one thing that I would say that Cyberpunk shines on is the world itself, the world design, having this cool neon everywhere, and seeing this kind of society that's fallen to corporate interests and things, and some of the character designs, like I would say River, Judy, Pan Takamura, those characters look great. Like, they look really realistic and insanely good motion capture, right? They're really good. But outside of that, I mean, would I even go back and replay Cyberpunk? No. Just being honest with you. No. I would not go back and replay that game. It was not entertaining enough to me. Like I said, I felt 70% of the time I was playing the game, I was bored to tears. I just wanted something interesting to happen, and nothing that was interesting me. And I don't want to... Playing through... Think about that. 30 out of my 40 hours, I was bored. That's not good. That just means they made a bad game. It doesn't mean the game was buggy and unfinished and that's why it was bad. It just means the game itself is bad. It doesn't hold interest for me. Now, that's me. Some people who, and particularly for some reason, the people who played the game on PC can't stop kissing the fucking game's ass. Okay? They just can't. They literally, the game's so good. It's just a shame it came out like this. But it's so good. It's so revolutionary. And I see them talking on social media about the missions that I did that I hated, that I thought were fucking so stupidly written and boring. And in particular, the mission about the criminal who's making amends for the fact that he murdered someone. And he found God. He found religion in prison. And now he wants to make a brain dance of him getting crucified. Right? Actually being physically crucified. He wants to make a brain dance of this so that corporation can sell it for make a bajillion dollars. And he feels that this is a way for penance of his sins. It's probably one of the most poorly written side missions. They're trying to do something that's supposed to make you think. And in reality, it's like you took the most hackish writer and wrote the dumbest thing ever. And I actually talked to someone who played this mission. And they were like, dude, I was so appalled by how badly done the mission was that at the end I just canceled it. Like, I went to the woman in the mission and said, yeah, I'll take the money just to get out of this. So that they didn't even have to finish. Like, I finished it, but when I finished it, I basically told them, no, I'm not fucking crucifying you, dumb shit. This is the dumbest mission ever. Okay? So anyway, that writing is so bad. And it's like, and I see people kissing the game's ass. That's such a revolutionary mission, well thought out, really made us think, and everything. Like, the fuck are you, 4 years old? You think that was a good mission? And again, you guys have heard my opinions on the game. That I feel that sadly, the whole cyberpunk genre isn't very interesting for 2021. This whole corporations have made everything into profit and over sexualized society and everything. I just felt that it was stupid. You know, it for the first hour or 2 hours, it's interesting because you're like, oh my god, it's like sensory overload, everything around you, and then you get used to it. You're like, okay, I'm desensitized to this now, and it's just dumb. I'm tired of this stupid shit, you know. And the game never really changes into anything else. It just stays with that stupid, kind of immature, everything for profits plotline, and it's boring. It's just not interesting. You want it to be something else. You're hoping that there's going to be something else, and there's just nothing. There's no substance there. So I didn't like it. Just being honest, I didn't really like the game at all. And that's a shame because the game, I really feel the game could have been so much better, and it just wasn't. It was just a giant disappointment. Anyway, that's my take, and I don't know. Even if they follow the roadmap and they do fix the game like they claim they will and everything, I don't know if I will actually play it again. Just being honest, I feel that it's such a disappointment of a game that I don't know if even playing the DLCs will be entertaining to me. You know what I mean? And why would I spend $60 again to play the game again that I know wasn't entertaining the first time I played it in the hopes that the DLCs are better, you know? So basically, unless this really makes a complete turnaround and the next gen console versions end up being mind-blowingly good and the DLCs end up being insanely great, I don't foresee myself ever playing this game again. I think it's going to go down in history as an epic failure, one of the biggest, most disappointing flops in gaming history. And it's going to be very hard for CD Projekt Red to ever recover from this, because the fact that they lied, released the game, lied some more, okay, took a month to really do anything, and then say, oh, well, it was our QA team that fucked up. It's kind of like, I don't trust you. I seriously don't trust you at all. I don't trust anything you say and do. You're now a dishonest company to us. Unless they rout the leadership of this company and the leadership leaves and they get new leaders in there, I don't believe a thing that they say. And that's their own fault. Okay. Anyway, that's what my feelings on the subject. Now you have them. All right. Let us now get to shout-outs for people who have contributed. Okay? So, let's take a look here. We had some overnight cheers from Golden Colts. The first cheer, he says, for me, it's rotini, the best pasta shape. I do like rotini. I like rotini because rotini tends to pick up, like, chunks of stuff. Like, if you have a sauce that has chunks of tomato in it, a lot of the times you'll get a nice big chunk of tomato stuck in the rotini pasta when you pick it up. It's pretty good. I also think that rotini is easier to fork and pick up, while other pastas may be a little bit more tricky. Rotini, you can just doop, pick up a bunch of them with a fork and eat it easily. I do like rotini, but I like, I also like as I said, which made the stupid meme, that I prefer a penne meme. I also like pasta that's like tube shaped, so that when you pick it up, you can get a lot of sauce in it too. So I would say penne pasta, but also rigatoni pasta. Like, my wife's favorite pasta is rigatoni. She really likes the rigatoni because you can pick up, the sauce. If you put if you put cheese on top, it picks up a lot of the cheese as well. So her favorite's rigatoni. Incidentally, today we're having our Italian bake for dinner, which has rigatoni. So there you go. Golden Coach cheered again. He says, do you ever use the rewards program at your local supermarket to get free food items? It's free meal estate. Our local supermarket doesn't do that. Our local supermarket used to have a program where it would save up credits, and then every once in a while you would get what was called a rebate. It would actually be a coupon that you would just use, and it would be like free money off your bill. So every like 3 to 4 months you'd get a coupon for like $40, which is good because it would dramatically reduce your shopping bill for that week. Okay? Now, they changed the program. In 2020, they abolished this program completely, and now what they do is they just give you discounts on everything. They scan your rewards card, and then if you have it, when you're checking out, it'll just say savings, 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 and take money off of certain items, and that's it. So they did away with the whole, here, get some free money off your bill or free stuff, and instead now it's, just save money on whatever you're buying. So that's it. They also do a a fuel rewards program, because the supermarket I go to also sells gas in the parking lot. And so they give you fuel points to save up to $1 off of each gallon of gas, which is good. It's always good to save money on gas, because gas has always been expensive. So because I do all my grocery shopping at this place every single week, I end up getting a lot of gas points. And every single time that I get gas, I basically save $1 a gallon. So last time I filled up my tank in the car, which was a long time ago because I don't drive many places, I don't need a lot of gas, I think it was like $19 to fill my whole gas tank. Which is crazy when you think about it. Because, normal priced gas, fill a tank can be upwards of $30, $40 to fill a tank. There's been times when I've spent that much, and now I'm spending under $20. So that's good. So anyway, that's the program that they have at my local supermarket. All right, now we get the people who contributed during today's stream. The first contributor was actually CJ55, and this person tipped me $15. And they said, thanks for being here in difficult times. You're welcome, CJ. As I said many times over 2020, I was very happy that during, this crazy pandemic, that I was able to continue to do what I love and be here consistently for you guys. At a time when a lot of people were stuck at home and could not enjoy the things that normally they would like to enjoy and do, I was happy to be here regularly for you on a schedule and being dependable for you guys. So thank you for supporting my streams and my content. I appreciate that very much. Okay. Lives of Her Soul did a 1,000-bit cheer to get the cheering started today. Okay? And he says, by Azura, it's the grand champion. I can't believe it's you standing here next to me. Apparently this is I think he said last time this was an Oblivion reference. I don't get the reference because I barely played Oblivion. I never got too far in it. All right. Thank you, Lives of Her Soul, for the first cheer of the day, 1,000 bits. Snorlax cheer says, do you think you cling to Street Fighter and games in general at a young age to deal with at-home issues like your parents' marriage problems or their overprotectiveness and rules? Actually, Street Fighter would have been something that was against that because I had to leave the house to play it. You see what I'm like? Back then, there was no online play. Everything was, if you were going to play actual opponents in Street Fighter, you had to go to the arcades. And my parents were overprotective and would only let me go to the arcade 1 to 2 times a week, like Friday, Saturday night. And, basically my dad, this is when I was younger, by the way. This is not when I was an adult or anything. But this is when I was young, when I was, either a young teen or whatever. My dad would drive me to the arcade, and when I was younger, he would actually stay at the arcade with me and read books. And he actually, at one time, he was going to night school, university night classes, and so he would actually bring his work to the arcade, and he would actually do some schoolwork at the arcade. Don't ask me how the hell he ever did schoolwork in an arcade that was that loud, because it was loud as fuck. But he did. When I got older, obviously I was able to go by myself, but no, I would say the Street Fighter thing was actually the opposite. Like, I was hindered from playing as much as many of my other colleagues who were playing the games, because I was only able to go like once or twice a week because my parents were pretty protective. Video games in general, yeah, I mean, they would allow me to have entertainment at home by myself because, again, my parents were overprotective. It's just true, they were. They didn't want me constantly going out with friends. They didn't want any of that. It was more about get your schoolwork done, do your chores, and then when you have time, if you want to play some video games or whatever, you can do that. And by the way, I'm not saying I didn't have any friends growing up. I absolutely did. But, it was more when, you're right, it was that kind of a thing with the overprotectiveness of my parents that playing Super Nintendo, etc., was a way for me to get enjoyment when other people were out doing other stuff with their friends. I'm just being honest, like that's how it was. And by the way, I'm not complaining or anything. Every time that I'm matter of fact honest about stuff about my childhood, people will be like, Phil's complaining about his parents. Shut the fuck up. No, I'm not. Did I say one complaint? No, I didn't. I'm just being honest. They were very protective, and so since I was home a lot, video games were the way for me to get entertainment. Okay? Okay. Lives of Her Soul did a 510-bit cheers. Says, can you help me change my Twitch name to Sexy Waifu Lord 6969? No, I can't help you with that. I have no sway with Twitch getting names changed. Snowcrawl cheers. Says, speaking of stock, did you see CD Projekt Red stock is rebounding and rising in value again? It's already eclipsed its quarter one peak and is going up, up, up. Yeah, isn't that hilarious? Again, have we actually seen anything from them to make their stock go up besides a roadmap that they may not even live up to? No. But the stock value goes up. Do you understand why the stock market is fucking stupid? So they made an apology video a month after the time when they fucked up badly. Present a roadmap. Oh, stock value goes up. Why? Wait, what? Why? They didn't do anything yet. Well, it doesn't matter. Stock value goes up. The stock market is a fucking joke. Liza Versal cheered and says, can I skip Divinity Original Sin 2? I don't want you to turn into a moron. No, I cannot skip it. It's a viewer's choice playthrough. I have to play it. Conversalist cheers. My wealth has come from a combination of living in America, some lucky genes, and compound interest. Warren Buffett. There you go. Lives of Her Soul cheers. Are you going to let us buy Darkside Phil stock? No. This is not a publicly traded company and never will be. Absolutely not. High Testosterone Jasper cheers. Cyberpunk may be a bad game, but did the guy that made the video ever masturbate on stream? Checkmate. No. Instead, he lied some more, likely completely tarnished the reputation of his company permanently, and in reality might have actually ruined the reputation and lives of everyone who works for his company, versus made a silly face on stream that was muted. So, yeah, he did something way worse than I'll ever do. Sorry, you lose. Lives of Her Soul cheered and says, can we get a shout out to From Software and Santa Monica Studios for being the last two amazing game studios? I'd include Rockstar, but they nickel and dime too much for their online component. I would definitely say Santa Monica with the God of War reboot was amazing. Super duper bang for their buck. Great stuff. From Software, I don't know. Like, everyone kisses their butt constantly. I don't necessarily agree 100% with that statement, that they're one of the best game devs ever. Sekiro, I feel, was kind of underwhelming. I didn't really like it as much as most people seem to like it. So for me, I don't know if I agree with that statement. Okay? Although admittedly, the Dark Souls series and Bloodborne, outstanding. So, let's continue on. Daner 2013 has subbed for 6 months in a row, 8 total. Thank you very much, Daner. I appreciate that. Thank you for the ongoing support. Lies vs. Soul cheered again. So how do you pronounce Keku or Keku? I don't know. It's K-E-K-W. Keku. Keku. I don't even know what it is. It says emo I've never seen because I don't have that Better Twitch TV thing. Rob on Wheels is here today. He did a 600-bit cheer. He says, I hope you're good, dude. I'm all caught up, and I'm now ready for this stream. Cool. You're all caught up on the over 40 hours of Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay. Good to hear. I hope you've enjoyed it. And, yeah, I believe today we are heading into a new area for a new plot, a new group of people we're trying to recruit, I believe, right? I think so. Ooh. I didn't have any coffee or anything this morning, so might be yawny. We'll see. All right. Shout out to Yug Bite, who has resubscribed for 15 months and says, big ups, pimp. Thank you, Yug Bite, for a 15-month resub. I appreciate that. Lies vs. Soul cheered again. He says, DSP tries it, pistachio frappuccino. I was not aware they made a pistachio frappuccino. I like pistachios. I really like pistachio ice cream. Dan Anonymous cheers. He says, I'm designing a character sheet for your persona. I can't remember if you were a gray wolf or a red fox. Can you confirm for the furry community in chat? No, I am a vole. I am a vole. That's correct. Yes, I actually know what a vole is. Conversalist cheered and said, it is not good to be too curious about all the reasons behind price movements. Jesse Lawrenston Livermore. Well, there you go. Okay, thanks, Conversalist. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let us now give thanks to those who are the top cheerers of the week so far. The week is young. It's only Thursday. We have many days still in this week, many streaming days. But I would like to say thanks to those who've cheered and supported the channel so far this week, okay? In 10th place, we've got Golden Colts. In 9th place, Rob on Wheels. 8th place goes to Snow Carl. Wow, that is disgusting. Oh, my God. I'm very sorry, everyone. That came out of nowhere. 7th place, Sir Spartan King. 6th place, Ripley Atomic. 5th place, Nin Star Rune. 4th place, Westside Phil. 3rd place, Eddie Bot. 2nd place, Nathan Tools. And in 1st place, Lucifer Soul. There you go. Also, thank you to those who've gifted subscriptions to the channel so far this week. We have Ultima Cloud 7, Eddie Bot, and R Breezy, who all gifted a single sub. We have Angelo Bestia and Marita Lucina, who gifted 2 subs to the channel. We have Golden Nobles, who gifted 3 subscriptions to the channel. No Couture gifted 5 subscriptions to the channel. And Westside Phil, with a small, humble, and conservative 169 gifted subscriptions to the channel this week, which is pretty much the reason why we ended up hitting the sub goal for the month, and we are now going to be doing a viewer's choice event in the future. Thank you very much to Westside Phil. I appreciate that very much. All right, very good. Okay, guys, so Diaper Man has cheered and said, do you think my parents were overprotective because they realized I was obstinate and it would make me a lifelong target? I'm pretty sure when I was a small child, there was no way to tell that I was obstinate. The answer is absolutely 100% no! What the fuck are you talking about? You're being stupid. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Let us take a brief break. All right? It is time for me to use the restroom. It is time for you to grab a drink or a snack, to use the restroom yourself, to walk your dogs, all right, to feed your cats, to throw bananas at your monkey, whatever you may do, all right? It's time for that right now. And then when I come back, it will be Assassin's Creed Valhalla here on the stream. I'm excited to see what progress we shall make today. So thank you guys for your support. I'll be back shortly with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Thank you. See you in a few.